Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoSnake. I'm Fred, and today I want to talk about why I believe Bitcoin will replace gold and become the world's primary reserve asset in the near future. But first, quick disclaimer. This is just my opinion, not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. Now let's dive in. When comparing Bitcoin to gold, it makes sense to look at each quality of both assets side by side. First, let's compare the scarcity and supply of both assets. Like gold, Bitcoin is scarce. But unlike gold, which has an unknown supply, Bitcoin has fixed supply of 21 million coins. This cap ensures that Bitcoin remains a deflationary asset, preserving its value over time. It's also worth noting that if you lose a golden ring, it doesn't disappear from circulation. Someone could find it later. But with Bitcoin, if you lose your private key, it's gone forever. That lost Bitcoin is effectively removed from circulation, adding extra pressure on its price. So when it comes to scarcity and supply, Bitcoin definitely takes the lead. Next, let's talk about portability. Bitcoin is far more portable than gold. To put in perspective, this is how 100 in gold compares to 100 in Bitcoin. And this is how 1 billion in gold looks versus 1 billion in Bitcoin. In today's global world, having 1 billion in Bitcoin means you're not tied down to any one country. You can move freely. Plus, you can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world instantly. On the other hand, transporting large amounts of gold is costly, slow, and cumbersome. So when it comes to portability, Bitcoin clearly wins. Next, let's look at divisibility. Bitcoin is easily divisible into smaller units called satoshis, making it practical for everyday transactions or storing value in small increments. Gold, however, isn't as easy to break down into smaller pieces, making Bitcoin much more practical for everyday use. So when it comes to divisibility, Bitcoin wins again. Now let's talk about verification. Verifying the authenticity of Bitcoin takes just seconds using blockchain technology, while verifying gold requires specialized equipment and expertise. For example, to verify gold bars, methods like ultrasound, X-ray fluorescence, XRF, and density test are used. Automated systems can check each bar in 1-2 minutes, but verifying 1 billion in gold, about 1,333 bars, would take up to 44 hours with advanced equipment. Manual checks would take even longer. Fake gold scams still exist, but you cannot fake Bitcoin. So once again, Bitcoin takes the point. Now let's talk about durability and security. To keep gold safe, you need massive vaults, security guards, and complex systems. Gold can be lost, stolen, or even melted down. Bitcoin, on the other hand, exists digitally. So as long as you protect your private keys, it's secure. You do not need a vault or security systems, just reliable digital storage, which could be an application on your phone or a small hardware wallet gadget. Speaking of hardware wallets, if you're looking for simplicity and security, check out the leading new generation hardware wallet Tangibility. I've got plenty of videos on the Tangibility wallet on my channel, and if you're interested in getting one, use my discount code CryptoSnake for 10% off. Now let's look at accessibility. Gold isn't exactly inclusive. Not everyone has access to a bank vault or gold bars. In fact, around 90% of gold holders only own gold on paper. But with Bitcoin, all you need is an internet connection. It's open to anyone, anywhere, leveling the playing field, especially in underbanked regions. No one can freeze or seize your Bitcoin if they don't know your private keys. You can keep your Bitcoin anonymously and access, buy or sell it 24/7. So once again, Bitcoin takes the point. Now let's talk about economic utility. Here's the kicker. Bitcoin doesn't just sit in a vault like gold. It can do much more. It's programmable, meaning it can power financial applications, smart contracts, and more. Gold just cannot compete with that kind of utility. Now you might say, but Fred, Bitcoin isn't tangible. You can touch gold but not Bitcoin. Sure. Gold gets the point for tangibility because you can make shiny things with it. But you can make shiny things from other, even more durable materials like platinum, titanium, or diamonds. Should we start using all of them as reserve assets? That's a rhetorical question. So when we compare all the qualities side by side with a score of 7-1, Bitcoin clearly wins. Now that we've reviewed all the qualities of Bitcoin and compared it side by side with gold, it's important to mention that younger generations who have never used pen and paper and were born into the digital era naturally understand Bitcoin's strengths and largely ignore the shiny yellow metal. The younger generations are the ones shaping the future, and year by year the global wealth of Millennials and Gen Zs continues to grow. Young people are driving the future and they simply don't care about gold. Just take a look at these statistics. Now let's let's talk about countries. El Salvador under President Nayib Bukele has been purchasing 1 Bitcoin daily since November 2022. This strategy is part of the country's commitment to using Bitcoin as a long-term asset to drive economic growth and financial stability. As of now, El Salvador holds around 6,000 Bitcoins valued at over $600 million, reflecting significant unrealized gains from their investments. Bitcoin is also legal tender in El Salvador, and I bet we will see more and more Bitcoin-friendly presidents around the world. Another small country, Bhutan, has quietly built up a significant Bitcoin reserve, estimated at over $1 billion. But that's not all. I already mentioned El Salvador, but there is a chance we will see yet another Bitcoin country, Suriname. At one of the Bitcoin conferences, I met Maya Parbo, a presidential candidate from Suriname. If she becomes president in 2025, she will be following El Salvador's playbook. But what about the leading economies? Donald Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference and went on to win the election. The United States, the world's #1 economy, is on its way to making Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. Senator Cynthia Lames has proposed not only keeping all the Bitcoin that the United States currently holds, but also selling some of its gold to buy more Bitcoin. Just take a look.
The proposal that I have and that President Trump has discussed about a strategic Bitcoin reserve or strategic Bitcoin stockpile. We have reserves at our 12 Federal Reserve banks, including gold certificates that could be converted to current fair market value. They're held at their 1970s value on the books, and then sell them into Bitcoin.
Do you understand what's happening? Cynthia Lames, who spoke alongside President Trump at the Bitcoin 2024 conference, publicly proposed selling gold to buy Bitcoin. The shift is already happening, and other leading economies are catching on. Brazil, the #9 economy in the world, introduced a Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. Russia, the largest country on the map, has introduced the same Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. Even China has started to reverse its ban on Bitcoin, and this domino effect will continue. Here is why. Let's call this part of the video what will happen when Bitcoin replaces gold. If countries holding gold refuse to adopt Bitcoin as it replaces gold, they could face a serious decline in the value of their gold reserves. As Bitcoin becomes more widely accepted and integrated into the global economy, demand for gold could shrink, which would drive down its price. This would weaken the economic power of nations relying on gold as a major asset, leaving them with a diminishing store of value. Not only would these countries see their gold holdings lose value, but they would also lose geopolitical influence. As Bitcoin becomes the global standard, nations that stick with only gold will find their influence waning in an increasingly digital world. Their failure to adapt to the new financial system could limit their access to international markets and reduce their overall economic power, leaving them at a significant disadvantage. After 12 years of studying Bitcoin, I truly believe it's the future, and everyone gets Bitcoin for the price they deserve. I invite you all to join me at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas, where you will have the chance to meet famous speakers, including Michael Saylor, connect to the community, and dive deep into Bitcoin's future. Donald Trump attended the Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville and promised to send Bitcoin to the moon.
And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen.
Who knows who will show up and what might happen in 2025. With my discount code CryptoSnake, you can get 10% off your conference tickets. Just keep in mind, ticket prices will rise as the event approaches. If you cannot afford the ticket but still really want to be there, here is your chance. Leave a comment below, don't forget to include your X username, like this video and subscribe to both my YouTube channel and X account. I will randomly pick 10 comments to give away 10 free GA tickets to Bitcoin 2025 in Las Vegas. I will announce one winner each week on my X account, so make sure you are subscribed. Final thoughts. Now let's step away from countries and consider what else could push the market cap of Bitcoin higher. Look at public companies like MicroStrategy and Mara. More and more public companies will follow their lead and adopt the MicroStrategy playbook on buying Bitcoin. Also consider AI adoption and automation. AI is already everywhere, and we are likely to see AI Bitcoin trading automation based on limited historic data designed to predict bullish prices. If you use CoinStats, for instance, or similar tools, you've probably already seen this in action. On top of that, we know Elon Musk is planning to send people to Mars in the coming years. As humanity becomes a multiplanetary species, Mars will build its own economy based on the existing Earth economy. Mars and Earth will establish relationships, but I doubt Mars will be collecting gold to preserve wealth. Bitcoin or Doge maybe, but definitely not gold. Bitcoin is the future of finance. It's designed to reshape economies, and it's set to replace gold as the cornerstone of global reserves. Hodl strong. I'll see you next time.
I'ma keep it a stack. People doubted my talent, really just wanted me to react. Perseverance ain't what I lack. Haters see you've got potential, then they've got something against you. Always have an opinion and hoping that it offends you.